You can do like an intro thing if you want, or you could just go straight into roasting the hell out of me.
No, I don't want to jump into roasting.
You can roast.
We'll get there.
All right,
Don't
got it.
you
Slow
worry.
burn.
Right. I might do one right to the camera just to start it out.
Cool.
Welcome back to Living Life with Brendan podcast. Extremely excited to be back filming. I know it's been a while, but I don't know if that's how I want to do it. Do we just roll through, or do we just say welcome back to another episode?
Welcome back to another episode. We're already filming.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Living Life with Brendan podcast.
Hell yeah.
Then you can cut.
Bro, you're rusty.
I'm so rusty.
Don't you practice at home when you're in your room?
Sometimes.
You should.
I should. Spend hours each day kind of just going through in my head how I should take.
We all know
takes.
you like to talk.
I do like to talk. I talk a lot. I do. It's just something that I enjoy doing.
Dude, that's great. Well, you're a great conversationalist, so it works.
I like learning about people.
Yeah.
So the more I can talk to them, and I like kind of messing with people too.
Yeah.
So that's probably where I'm going. Try to get them down a path where I know I can be like, gotcha.
We're in MySpace this time. We recorded at Brennan's house last time. We're in MySpace, and it's like my favorite place in the world, my house. And Brennan's just roasting me about my
No,
space.
it's a fantastic place. It's spacious. It's large. Just full of junk. You've got a
Junk?
lot of stuff.
Dang.
As you can see in the cameras, I know everyone can't see around us, but Steve has one of his 3 bikes sitting behind him
I only
right
have
now.
this is my only motorcycle right now.
Really?
Yeah, I sold the other ones.
Oh.
I know. Well, I'm looking for a vintage like Vespa scooter. That's my next
Why
bike
vintage?
purchase. I want to be old.
You want to
Well,
be
have you
old?
seen new Vespas? They're not cool.
Oh. I don't.
But new
I don't
Vespas are
scooter
not,
much. If you were
New
wondering,
Vespas are not cool.
you want
Yeah.
to know about wheelchairs? Because I can tell you a lot about wheelchairs, but I don't even know what these Rolex, different things, rear wheel, mid wheel.
I mean, it makes sense that you wouldn't ride motorcycles, but you know about a lot
Yeah.
of stuff.
I try to.
Yeah.
I keep my conversationalists open.
Yeah.
I like to join in when
So I
can.
figure you knew about Vespas.
I didn't know about scooters. I wanted a scooter when I was 15 because you don't have to be 16 to drive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I was
as long
like-
as it's like under 50 cc or something, like
Yeah.
49 cc.
I could have drove to school.
Yeah.
I could have been that kid.
Yamaha made these they're called Yamaha Yumas, or I think it's Yuma, and my buddy's parents bought 2 of them, and we just ripped, and we lived in a small town, Princeton, like 4,000 people.
Right.
We just ripped those everywhere, dude. It was so fun.
When you were 16, did you get a car?
No, yeah, I got a car, but it was when we were like 15 or something.
Right.
And if you like laid all the way back on the seat, like laid down basically on the seat like this, you could go like almost 40.
Nice.
You just cut all wind, and you could just
Breaking
rip.
barriers.
Yeah.
At 40.
Yeah,
At
crazy.
15.
Wild.
Just-
Dude, what have you been up to?
Kind of a lot. So
Yeah.
I know it's been a long time since
Yeah.
we filmed.
Yeah.
And that's on me.
Yeah.
I will say things are a little more difficult.
What made you want to get the podcast going again though? Like what was the inspiration that kind of like hit?
I think the hardest thing was after we did filming for a while,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of reflected and I'm like, oh my gosh, who's going to be next?
Yeah.
And it just wasn't good enough. And I kept looking back.
Got in your head.
It got in my head big time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this next guest has to be huge. And it's like, I was just setting myself up, stressing about it.
Yeah.
Really, I just want to get out there and talk. And
Yeah.
really, again, just try to teach people, talk about my life being a quadriplegic.
Yep.
And the more I do, the greater that's going to be.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck it. Like, let's just
go.
Let's
Just
go.
film.
Let's get out there. Let's film. We're going to do, have some more guests, maybe do 3-4 people. Really just keep it open conversational. But
yeah. Season 2.
it's season 2.
We're back.
Here. We're here.
Dude, it's been a year since we filmed the last one. That one that you and I did, because it was before Arizona, right?
No, we did ours when we got back.
Oh,
But we did the first 5
the
before.
first 6?
First
Or
6.
was it 6? I don't remember.
Whatever.
I'd have to look at the
Yeah,
thing.
those were all before January last year. So
Yeah.
we're right on track with
Crazy, dude.
a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a wild year. And, the more and more as I tried to open up, living life and having everything,
Mm-hmm.
is I'm sure you know how people get those, oh, when you're asleep, you should have a notepad. So when you wake up, you can write down your thing.
Yeah.
can't do that.
Do you do voice recordings on your phone?
No,
You don't?
I can't when I'm laying in bed.
Yeah, it's not near you or something.
No, it's near me. So the hardest thing for me
Yeah,
is...
I'm an idiot. I don't know
No,
what.
it's all right.
No one knows like the littlest things we take for granted.
This is one that's really hard is sleep.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in bed, like I can move my arms a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But when I'm in bed, gravity, I don't have triceps, so I can't move my arms at all.
Yeah.
When I'm laying in bed, I can't lift them up.
Yep.
So I can like shrug my shoulders. But then you talk about like temperature regulation. Now I have voice activated like a TV and lights.
Yep.
But if I have a fan and the thermostat, I do have a phone. So like I use my phone if I need help, I can make a call.
Yep.
But like for instance, there was a night or two ago where for some reason it wasn't working and I was like freezing. So I just stayed like chattering my jaw
You're
for
just awake all
8
night,
hours.
freezing.
Yeah. Like,
Oh my
no sleep.
gosh, dude.
Yeah. And there's just nothing you can do because I can't get help. I can't move.
Yeah, it's not like there's a bell somewhere near
Right.
that you can ring and have your.
Couldn't ring it anyway.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like I go to a hospital, like when I had my surgery and stayed
Mm-hmm.
overnight, and they're like, click this button if you need help. And it's like,
You're like,
where do you want to put the button? Because
sorry
I
to
can't
tell ya.
push it anywhere. And like even nowadays in hospitals, they don't have a better system for it.
Dude, that's wild.
It is. But that's just, again, like sleep, things that you would never think of, right? For me,
And how loud can you get if you were to yell?
I'm not loud at all.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like a
even have-
miracle that you can even talk, isn't
Right.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the crazy things too is like if I get sick and it's internal, like cold and phlegm, like I'll give you a test here. Like that's as loud as I can cough.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you messing with me right now?
No, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's
Wow.
all I got. So it's tough for me to cough things up. So
Yeah.
that's why it gets a little scary sometimes.
Yeah.
But like those are just things that I don't have very strong lungs when it comes to that. It's actually great that I'm able to put sentences together and complete. And I think it's because, like I said before, all that singing in the shower that I did prior to my injury to have these powerful lungs.
Yeah, that got you.
But no, like these are little things that people would never think of. Like sleep
No,
is-
and we've talked a bunch, and we've never talked about like you sleeping or getting cold or like taking notes. I mean, I'm sorry to brag, but I have like thousands of notes in my notes app.
Right.
Like that's how I remember things. I'm
Exactly.
like, I'll forget 4 seconds later if I don't immediately write it down.
And I can do them when I'm up, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll take notes about things
Yeah.
that I want, but my biggest thing at night, I'll be like, okay, try and remember this in the morning. Please remember this till I can get up.
Yeah, your best ideas happen in bed or in the shower.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the shower a whole lot, but
Dang.
yeah, like nights are tough. It's just really hard because I can't control anything.
Yep.
So I would say it's not all the time that I have like a tough night.
Yep.
Not only with that, but then, people that probably have severe injuries. Like I think about that diving night quite often still, replaying it in my head. And I even did a post on my Instagram about like my friends are getting older, they're having kids. And
Yeah.
it's awesome. Like I
Yeah.
love little kids because they don't have a filter.
Yeah.
They'd be like, why are you in that chair?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yep.
Why did you do that?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's just, I love it because they're not coming from a
Well,
place.
you're not shying away from talking about it, obviously.
Right.
So
but
it's
they're
like
all-
you're happy to just chat about it.
and they're not coming from a malicious place because they're
No.
like 2 or 3 or 4. So it's just fun for me because I know that they're just curious.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm very open about it too.
Yeah.
I've had it where I'm talking to kids and parents like, don't ask that. It's like, I don't care. Like, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's like certain things like that have been tough. And the other thing, just wondering the what ifs, right? So my big thing that I posted on my 15 year was like, what if I had jumped in feet first?
Yeah.
Like, where would I be?
Where would
now?
you be?
Right? Would I have kids?
Is
Would
that
I-
like helpful to think about or even dream about just or not?
it is.
Probably-
It doesn't really put me in a better mood.
No.
Because it's like, oh, I could have had this, but then there's
Yeah.
always flip sides of like, could be worse. Like something may have happened to me and
Yeah.
something else. So I try and balance it out, but
Yeah.
more and more as like my friends are having families and kids.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do you want to hang out? No, I've got the kids this week.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we can all hang out, but
Yeah.
it just gets tougher and tougher.
Yeah.
So that was probably delayed just with a mix of kind of emotions and
Yeah.
wanting the podcast to be this Joe Rogan type level after 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Like the perfect dream.
Joe Rogan's on his like millionth episode.
Oh, I know. He's got Trump. He's,
Yeah,
reaching
and
out
he
to
talks to the most interesting people in the world. You got me.
Right. Yeah. You're pretty interesting.
Well, I don't know.
So that's kind of where we're at, and I just want to be able to, let loose again, have fun with it.
Yeah. What did you learn anything from releasing those first 6 episodes of like, I want it to be different this way, I want to talk about this, or even just like, what was the feedback that you got? Was that good? Was it good feedback?
Yeah.
Were you
It was a mix.
encouraged
I'd say.
to keep going? Or?
Oh, I definitely want to keep going. I think more of a conversation than an interview.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I like.
Yeah.
More than being like, specific questions.
Yeah, well, if it's just conversation, you got to talk about interesting shit.
That's true. That's true. But I will relate my injury to the conversations.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of more where people will be like, oh, I never thought of it that way.
Well, something that's kind of interesting is before we started recording, you said that you might end up doing some stand-up. And I was like, okay,
We'll call it sit down. Come on, it's 2024.
It's already starting.
It's 2024.
I have fully functioning legs.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't go stand up in front of a crowd and try and tell jokes and then wait to see if they laugh or not.
This would be if I took last. So we're not there yet.
Oh, yeah. You
This
got to
is a
explain that. You got to explain that to the...
This would be a punishment for fantasy football if I take last place. So
Yeah. I don't play fantasy football, so I don't know. But I do, and a lot of my friends do, and they say there's always like some weird thing you got to... It's like hazing and like a fraternity or something.
It is, and a lot of
it's
them
like
are
the old man version of hazing.
Oh, you have to be a butler during the draft, and like everything that's been done, I physically can't do. So we're trying to think of a punishment.
Is it different for other people? Like if they come in last, do they have to do stand up, or is that just specific to you?
They have to do things like be a butler to the first place.
But stand up is that's like
pretty
higher
serious.
Consequence.
Yeah, I know, but I think it would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I think you'd rip too.
I
mean, if you wheel out in a wheelchair and immediately start roasting yourself, self-deprecation. I mean, people are just gonna be like, "What?"
Oh yeah, I mean,
that'd be great.
Absolutely, and I have no problem doing that too. So there's definitely
you gotta let me know when it is.
I haven't taken last yet, so let's not just hope for last.
Dang, I think you should do it anyways.
Maybe.
There's a lot of clubs around town, isn't there? Where you can do stand up.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
We'll keep it correct.
Rough, dude.
I know.
That's good though.
Yeah.
It's too good not to use.
It would be fun.
Yeah. It's a low hanging fruit.
Right. It's there. If the podcasting doesn't work out, you know where to find me.
Yeah. Yeah. So this year you said like you've just kind of come to this realization that your friends are all having kids and getting older. Is that giving you more time to reflect on what you want, not just in the next season of the podcast, but just it's like what's next in life? Like,
right.
You've done the podcast. I know we talked about some merch stuff. I don't know if that's happening. You're still at your job. What are some other life updates outside of the podcast?
So I'm obviously still trying to get help at my house so my parents don't have to do as much because that's the dream is that they can go be adults, retired adults, and not have to worry about me.
Yeah, your 60-year-old roommates.
Seriously. Again, going back to not being able to take notes at night.
Yeah.
So I live with 2 60-year-olds, and when we have anything tech related, it's the 3 of us. We are the 3 Stooges. And I can't do anything because usually before when I was like 19, 20, it's like trial and error really fast. Let me try this. Let me try this. I can't do that now. So I'm like, try that and try that, try that. And they're like, well, let's just see if this works.
Yep.
Like, that's not going to work.
Oh my gosh.
It's very difficult sometimes. I love them to death. But
they're the best.
When we talk about technology and that's what I get to. I have these ideas of films or shorts that I want to shoot. And then I'm like, okay, how am I going to shoot this? I've got like 2 60-year-olds and I don't know.
They got the finger in front of the camera.
And I don't know what I'm doing either. Yeah. So that's just been tough and learning for me. But I'll progress. We'll figure it out.
So this just came to mind. But for most people, I mean, one of the biggest like first world problems is like having someone in our life that we don't necessarily like. So whether it's someone at your job that you just kind of like don't like, or they annoy you, or we don't know how to deal with that. Like, especially when it comes to your parents and like, being are you 35?
I'm 35, turned 36 in a month.
Wild.
Yeah.
So
getting
being
old.
35, living with your parents, it's not like you can just leave or like go live somewhere else. Like what are some tips and tricks for people to like be loving and accepting of people in their lives that might annoy the living crap out of them?
Boundaries.
Yeah.
You have to have boundaries.
Yeah.
We definitely have been at each other's throat before.
Yeah.
Like we like to say that we live in the same house, but kind of separated as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
We have our own areas. So you're always
Yep.
going to be able to go to like your safe zones, right?
Yep.
Like if I'm in my room, like I don't expect certain things. Like if they come in, you know what I mean? But then we all hang out in the main areas.
Yeah.
I know that I wouldn't be able to navigate through life without them. So it's
Yeah.
a little different because it's so heavy.
Yep.
They know the same right now, but as we progress, and we've had it where I've had PCAs that covered me where they went, we're able to go to Ireland and Germany,
Yep.
and I was able to be covered at home. So
Yep.
that's the goal to get there. But it's definitely a give and take, right? Like they're going to do things that just drive you up the wall.
Totally.
And I'm sure you're doing the same things to them without realizing
Yep.
it. So again, you really just cherish the good areas that you have, kind of like a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Like that middle area, you want
Yeah.
it to be as big as possible.
Yep.
And then those outsides that piss each other off, like you'll run into those.
Yep.
But go cool off a bit, do whatever you have to do.
Yeah.
Get back to that middle area.
Boundaries.
That would be my advice.
Yeah. Is there a point where you want to move out?
I don't know if I want to move out.
What that would look like?
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
My house was redone when I was injured. So I have a fantastic backyard
Yeah,
that's all
yeah.
modified.
Yeah.
I put some money into there to have it.
Yep.
I've got my own room, kind of wing area on the outside.
It's an
too.
actual wing.
It's an
It's
actual
a wing of the house. Yeah.
I really like it. If I had the full support, my parents probably would be in Arizona more.
Yeah.
And I just have that house for now.
Yeah.
Ideally, if I could make more money, maybe buy some land, build like a nice rambler.
Yeah.
We've thought about that, even having like my parents on a different house on like the same location, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Just something like that would be like
Just give you a little bit of separation.
perfect scenario, probably. But I did get promoted in my job.
Dude, sick.
Yeah, moving up, a little more responsibility.
That's great.
So we'll see 1-1,
Yeah.
bigger book of business.
Starts 1-1.
Yeah, bigger book
Cool.
of business and a little bit more responsibility.
Dude,
so
epic.
Yeah.
Congrats.
we'll see. Thank
That's
you.
huge.
Yeah.
What else?
Work, family, living, PCAs, help, trying to get some sporting events. Right now is peak, so we've got the Wolves, the Wild.
Dude. Yeah. Went to a Wolves game a couple weeks ago. We lost to Miami, and it was a heartbreaking one. Did you watch
I
it?
did.
Where it's
We
like
were
in the
up.
last second.
Yeah, we were up way too much in that game.
Oh, dude! At 9 seconds left, we like scored, and we're like, okay, we're good. And then they had to throw it in, and he
And we
tossed a
fouled
dude
him.
right under the hoop. So he got a score. He got a
And we
goal.
fouled him.
I'm so bad at sports.
You're
I'm
bad
like,
at sports.
he got a
We're
touchdown.
bad.
I was talking to this girl the other day, and she like kept correcting me. She says she went to a Dodgers game, and I'm like, she goes, that's baseball. I'm like, oh, cool.
Nice.
I'm so bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sports.
What do you call it? A hoop?
A layup.
Yeah, whatever it was. Anyways, and he got fouled, so they tied,
And
they got a
free throw.
free throw. That's
Yeah.
what it's called. Anyways, I'm getting better, dude.
Nice. We'll have to go to a few.
I would love to. That'd be
teach you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad, but basketball is the one I probably enjoy going to most. Well, it's the one I've gone to most. I haven't gone to many football. I don't think
The Wild games are unreal too.
I went to one Wild game last year.
It's pretty incredible. For people that don't go much or haven't been,
Yeah.
I'd recommend it because of how loud it gets. But then during
The
play,
energy is,
it's like you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
Because you're just watching it.
Yeah.
You're like, this is unbelievable.
The energy is off the charts at Wild games. It's so
cool.
fun.
I wish they redid the Target Center. I know that they worked on it, but having it be a little bit more accessible would be nice. The one thing that drives me nuts being paralyzed too is tickets are impossible to get.
What do you mean?
So if I go on like Ticketmaster or something, I'll have to buy a handicap. I can't just buy a ticket. And so like I'll go to the handicap and it's like sold out. And then if I ever get to a game, or someone will go for me.
Yeah.
Or like is at the game. I'm like, hey, will you go to the handicap section? They'll take a photo and it's like 8 people that aren't paralyzed just sitting in the row.
Just kind of standing. Yeah.
Or like standing or using the chairs. Like
Yeah.
it's rare that it's actually
Oh, that sucks, dude.
wheelchair users.
Yeah.
And then I looked at a
Dude,
Viking.
can just anyone buy those tickets? The handicap
They
tickets?
say that when you buy them online that you have to whatever show.
Have some sort of,
But
yeah.
I will tell you that every sporting event that I've gone to in the area that I'm at is, I would say, 20% in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
And not saying
Is
that
there
there's
other
a different
handicaps,
handicap.
like
Maybe
mentally handicapped?
I
or-
haven't seen it. I'm sure there are. Maybe
Yeah.
someone with a cane. But otherwise, they usually people that are like, oh, these are great seats, and they just jump in them.
Yeah.
And then like no one says anything.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Oh, dude, that sucks.
So like I went to one Wild playoff game a few years ago and I called and they were sold out and I'm like, hey, I had like a 10-game pass here and every time people just came and sat down in these and like I know that they're not being full. Like I
Yeah.
know they're not full.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well we're gonna get you a spot. So they did. They gave me
That's
like
nice.
right next to a camera guy.
Yeah.
Which was great and super nice, but it just makes it so hard to get any sort of exhibition games.
Yeah. That
So
makes
that's-
sense.
And that's what it comes to concerts, it's venues. They have to do better for like wheelchair, like
Yeah.
actual. There should be a separate thing for like if you're in a wheelchair,
Yeah.
not just accessible seating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just something they don't think about or.
I don't know,
put a
but
lot of
it
attention on.
sucks for us.
Yeah, that sucks.
And I looked at Vikings tickets for one of the games this year, and it would have been me and a companion on like the top row, like third level, whatever, and it was $940
No.
for 2 tickets.
What?
Yeah.
Is it because the Vikings are doing well this year? And
It
they're
may
just-
have been because it was a Sunday night game, but it's like, come on. I mean,
That's wild.
I paid like, I remember going for like $250 a ticket, which is
Yeah.
still a lot, but you were
That's
on
a
like the
lot.
main concourse.
Is that
with your
normal for
handicap.
a Vikings game?
I think so.
Dang.
They
I
only
did not know
play like 8 home games a year.
Yeah.
So it's a lot less than like the Twins games where they play,
Yeah.
80 games at home.
Yeah. Which is nuts.
Great stadium for
when I-
handicap people too.
You what?
Great stadium, Target Field.
Yeah.
Because that way I can just buy concourse
Yeah.
and just cruise around because it's
Yeah.
so big.
Yeah.
But
I haven't been to Target Field in a long time, but it is sick.
that,
When I went to Timberwolves the other day, my buddy works for them, and so I got tickets, and we're set. Last year when he gave me tickets, we were like down in the lower bowl.
Yep.
This year we're up in the higher bowl, and someone told me that it's because the lower bowl for the Timberwolves is completely sold out by season ticket holders.
really,
100%,
that's crazy.
which I think is like 20,000 seats.
That's
I'm like
insane.
completely like 100% sold out
Wow.
to season tickets. I wonder if it's because they did so well last year, and so it's like going into this season, there's a lot of excitement.
There's a lot of hype around them, so
Yeah.
that's good. I mean, it's good
Yeah.
that they're good, but
The Lynx did good too.
yeah.
I saw game 6. It was the game right before they went to New York and then lost.
Oh, really?
But they won the one here. which is
I think
cool.
they got hosed.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
I know. Dude,
questions.
okay. This is why I don't watch sports, because I don't care about sports. But the second I watch a game, I get super invested.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't need this. I work really hard to have like a low stress life.
There you go.
Like my life is pretty stress free, and I work hard to make it that way. And then you go to a baseball game or a football game or a basketball game, and it's just stress the whole
Gone.
time. Yeah, especially I went to this I didn't go to this Vikings game. Me and my buddy were gonna go. We're gonna get last minute seats, and then we couldn't. So we went to bar and watch it. And there was like, I don't remember what game it was. It was last summer sometime. There's like 3 times we were like this close to winning, and then we
Lost.
fumbled or didn't get the touchdown or like whatever. Like I was just like, no, dude, I'm not coming to games with you anymore. I'm sorry.
Look at you. Good terms there. They all
Yeah,
matched.
boundaries.
They all matched.
What matched?
Your football terms. They all matched the
Oh yeah, thank you.
Nice. Got it. It
Yeah,
makes
we got the
sense.
Vikings, the Timberwolves, the Wild, the Lynx,
the Twins.
the Twins. Yeah,
you go.
that's the other one.
Yeah, I'm hometown. I love them all. And it's
Yeah.
sad because we don't win championships.
Yeah,
Hopefully we can
it
change
is.
that soon.
Well, it feels like I heard this joke when I was a kid. It's like, why does the league coach of the Vikings not let the Vikings eat cereal? Because anytime they go near a bowl, they choke.
Ooh. Ooh.
And I don't know why. I just remember that joke my whole life.
Nice.
And
It's a good
I
one.
just told it to you on your podcast.
That is a good one.
Yeah. So when you're at a sports game and you see someone else in a wheelchair, what's the vibe? Is it
Well,
like, what up?
It is.
You do a
It's
little
funny.
like peace sign.
As we
I
look
guess you
at
can't.
this nice motorcycle behind you, I've noticed that motorcycles do their little, hand gesture as they
How do you,
pass.
when do you see that?
I've
Just
seen it.
like someone on the road in front of you?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they always do it. Do you
Yeah.
do it when you pass
Yeah,
by?
yeah. We do like a little like.
Yeah,
Everyone
is it
has
a little
something different.
piece, little
Sometimes
two
it's like
hand
a
down
little.
the side.
Yeah.
It's always on the side though, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, how else would you do it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe high five,
Yeah.
air five,
Like this.
air five.
You just ride.
I don't.
No, it's always like cool. It's
Yeah, a
like
little
everyone's trying to be a cool
Flick
guy.
of the
They're like-
wrist. Yeah.
They're like
yeah,
a
that's
little,
what it is.
like the smallest acknowledgement possible, but still like a little acknowledgement.
Yeah, you have to, right?
Yeah.
Or they'll turn around and get you.
They'll turn around and beat you up.
There you go. No, I've seen that, and now I'm a part of the group. I do it with
Yeah.
other wheelchairs.
Let's go.
I'll see another wheelchair user, and it's more of like either a sup, like a heads up,
Yeah.
or like a head down, like respect. What's going
Yeah.
on? And I think it's because
Is it ever like sizing each other up? Like,
no, I don't.
oh,
you
dude,
can kind of look and be like, I wonder what level that person is. Can
Yeah.
they move their arms?
What are the levels?
levels, like your injury levels?
Yeah, but what are they?
So like C1, C0 would be you can't move anything. You're probably on a ventilator.
Got it.
C2 still probably there. C3 you can't move anything. C4 you're most likely not moving stuff. I'm a C4. I was lucky enough to be able to move my arms. But
Yeah.
so I know some C4s that are still in the vent.
Wild.
And then you go down to like C5. They have arms and wrists, so they don't have to wear these wrist guards like me.
Yeah.
C6 you get more movement. Then it goes down to like T's, which is lower vertebrae.
Yep.
That's more of like paraplegics.
Yep.
So yeah, there's probably a little sizing up at first,
Yeah.
but I think we respect the idea of it takes a lot, especially when you're first injured,
Just to leave the house.
just to go out in public. Because
Just to, yeah.
first and foremost, you're going to go out and you're like, I'm not hiding from anyone. When I go into a store and I go into a restaurant, like
You might as well like make an
move the
announcement.
tables. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, here comes someone. Let's move the
Yeah.
chairs. So if you're not self-confident, which it would be tough, especially when you're first injured, about your situation, like
Yeah.
there's going to be eyes on you.
Well, I mean, we went to a bar the other day, and I had this thought when I left. I'm like, you got to be really secure to have another full-grown man feed you your drink,
it's true.
because I had to like
Oh, yeah.
take
And
the
a straw,
but
it's all-
you're like the most confident dude I know.
Like you have to be.
Like if some dude tried to feed me a drink, I'd be like, ugh, or like whatever, you know. You have
Come
to
on.
be.
How else would I get it?
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying is it's built like an incredible confidence in
Right.
you.
And it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
When I was first injured, I hated going out.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go out because like you go out and you see like everyone's eyes on you.
yeah,
It's like your surprise birthday party.
yeah.
When you
How do
walk in
kids
the door,
interact with you.
like I said, there's no filter. They'll run
Yeah.
up to me and
Yeah.
I had kids run up to me and they just grab my joystick.
Yeah.
And it's like, ma'am,
That's
sir,
Yeah, that
you want to
drives
grab
me.
your kid?
Yeah.
But it's happened. I was in Disney World and this kid was just like kicking my tire. The mom's like, he's going to get you.
What'd you do at Disney World?
What did I do?
You had to go on any rides?
I did go on a few rides.
Hell yeah.
They have some rides for wheelchairs.
Really?
Yeah.
So you drove your wheelchair into it, or you
Into
got
it, and
lifted
then-
out of your
no,
wheelchair?
Drove my wheelchair right up into it.
Dude,
Like they had like little
that's cool.
train things
Yeah.
or whatever, and one of the carts is bigger, so
Yeah.
like I just drove up in there. And,
Wild.
yeah, it was sweet.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, it's not going to stop kids from being curious.
Yeah.
So
But that's great. I mean, it's all so innocent.
right,
You know?
I mean, this kid kicking the side of my chair wasn't innocent.
Yeah, maybe
He
not.
was like 13. I was like,
Yeah, you
back
should have
up.
like some little like lever you can press and it just decks them.
That'd be nice. A little aggressive. Would be nice though. But no, it's that when you walk in somewhere, roll in
You're not
somewhere,
hiding.
it's going to be all eyes on you.
Yeah.
And so to have the confidence, first of all, to do that, knowing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But then, like we've mentioned before, there's so much that goes into this that people don't know. So when I get up, it's not like I can get up, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I've got to get like straps on my legs, and
Yeah.
then I've got to get socks put on, underwear, pants, get up in a sling, get put into a chair, make sure that I'm sitting right.
Yep.
Because like if I'm not sitting, if I'm off angle, like
Yep.
you're leaning way over one way or another.
Yeah.
And if you don't
So
have
there's not just the physical act of getting ready, there's the emotional attention, like the emotional side of having everyone's attention on you
everyone's
and
attention,
just having to like manage that.
like is my shirt tucked in? Because if it's not, I can't fix it.
Yeah.
Do I have food on my face? Because
Yeah.
if I don't know, I can't fix it.
Yeah.
Like there's all these things I'm sure people worry about. So like just seeing someone out in public and being like, hey, good for you. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome, because I know it took multiple people,
Yeah.
probably hours, just to get you ready to get in
Totally.
the position, and then for you to go out there and go do what you love to do.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that and coming from that is
Yep.
it's massive,
Yep.
because it is so much
Do you ever feel resentment
towards.
down just people that are fully able-bodied?
I had this thought, and I've had it for like 12 years.
Yeah.
And again, it goes through with like newborns and like babies, and everyone loves when they first start walking. And I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
like this 8-month-old, 12-month-old is
Yeah.
getting that joy of walking that
Yeah.
I probably won't have anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's not resentment. It's more of just lighthearted jealousy.
Just like a whoa. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But even just people like at the games, and you're going, you don't know what it took to even just get me here. And you're just walking around and we just take for granted our legs, our bot, like anything we can do.
Right.
You know?
I don't know if resentment's the word that I would use fully in it. It's just, when I was 19 before my injury, it's just second nature by 20 years of walking around and doing things. It's more like you should appreciate the little things. And I think people that are close to me tend to do that a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's the relationships that we have. And that's kind of the podcast here, right?
Yeah.
Getting that message out there that, like, hey, be proud of what you're able to do now, because it obviously could be a lot worse.
Totally.
So that definitely comes across. Like, if I could tell people, like, hey, take it easy with this, like, don't live life too fast.
Yeah.
Like, there are messages
Enjoy
here
it.
and there. Yeah, like, I wanted to be 25 when I was 18. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to have everything already done. I wanted to go party. I wanted to do this. Like, slow down. And your problems in junior high are
We're
not
trying to get to the next thing.
end of the world. Right. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, my first heartbreak. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like, junior high, high school, you think your problems are massive.
Yeah.
And then you get to the next world, like next level of life, and you're like, these are real problems.
Yeah.
And now being 35 and paralyzed, like, I know problems.
Yeah.
A little bit bigger
Yeah.
than junior high's problems.
Yeah. A little bit bigger.
Just a bit. So, yeah, I mean, life, it's starting to come full circle, but I'm learning every year too. Like, just about things that I love, things that I wish were different. Like I said, doing a lot of reflecting.
Yeah.
As I get older, I feel like I'm making me a little wiser.
Yeah.
Give me some gray hairs.
Hopefully. Is it really?
No.
Oh.
But I am getting gray hairs.
I
Just
bet.
age is giving me gray hairs.
Do you read?
I audiobook.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I can't turn pages. Not
Well,
great.
yeah, I kind of.
Not great for the hand.
I didn't know if you had like you could do like a Kindle and just like swipe, but
Yeah.
you can't even get your hand up.
If
that.
I had my tray on, I would.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just throw on headphones and listen to
Dude,
it.
crazy. There's so many things.
Right.
Do you date? You mentioned something about
I
dating.
do. I'm single right now.
Ladies?
Ladies, I do date. I'd love to date. It's very difficult in my situation. Like, you just ask any of your single friends, they're like, dating so hard today. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, try it.
Like, right.
Try it in a wheelchair.
Right. Seriously. So there's a lot of aspects to it that I've kind of trial and errored.
Yeah.
So I am on like the dating sites that I check every once in a while, and I'll get matches. The hardest thing is, and again, I may get judged for this, but when I take my photos, I do like a chest up,
Oh, yeah.
and I'll like do my bio, whatever. And if I get matches, like, I like to have a chance at having the conversation and talking about my personality and things that'll shine through. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, I was injured and I'm paralyzed, like I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Because when I do photos of my full body, I don't even get the matches.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even give me a chance. Now, that may be judged and wrong, but when I do like just the chest up and whatnot of my photos, it at least sometimes gives me that. And there's women who are like, hey, you blatantly lied on this. And I'm like, true.
Really?
Yeah, oh, yeah. They'd be like, if you would have told me this before, maybe I would have. And it's like, okay. But
well, yeah, but it's like you lie. It's not like you got them to commit to anything. What did they commit to? A couple minutes of conversation, and then you told them. It's like that. I don't know if that's a lie. It's like you.
And I
weird.
would never be like, hey, let's meet for drinks.
Totally, and then show up in the WH 5000.
Yeah.
WC.
Room.
Wheelchair.
Yeah, we'll go WC.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would never do that.
Yeah.
But and it takes, I've had some great relationships.
Yeah.
It definitely takes someone who's got a little bit more understanding and patience.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to do more to be able to help. Like sometimes I've got a PCA that can drive me because I can't drive myself. I'd love to be able to just at night be able to just get into bed, right? Like that's another thing. People are just like, no one knows how I get in and out of bed.
Yeah, that's wild.
So it's like I got to take, my shirts off, and then I got to get either slide board into bed. Like nights that I'm exhausted, and I'm like, I just want to get into bed.
Yeah.
It's like a 20-minute process.
Yeah.
I'm wide awake by the end of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just jumping into bed to go to bed, like to sleep, and this is another thing, like having a relationship, like there are all these things that you probably don't think about. And starting the relationship, when I do match with someone or start talking, like I slowly layer it. I'm like, we'll go get drinks or we'll hang out. Yeah. I'm like, it's not bad. But then as it progresses, I'm like, there's more.
Yeah.
There's more.
Yeah.
Right. And I've had some, like I said, great long relationships, but it is tough. It's just going to take the right person that understands a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like I know what I can bring to the table just with the positivity and being able to help and like being there for someone.
Hell yeah.
That I'm still optimistic about it, but it's not like a rush. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But I know you said you've been on a few dates lately with a few women. We're not going to say, we won't name names.
No, I really haven't been. I mean, I hang out. I rarely call them dates. Like a lot of times for me, it's really hard to date someone. I would rather just be friends with someone and then be like, oh, this developed into more. So usually it's not like, we're not like, let's go on a date. It's like, hey, let's grab coffee. It's more casual. So I've done a few of those lately, but I did go out for drinks with a girl the other night. That's cool.
Did you bring her back to this?
No, I did not. No, this is the dude pad, and you roasting me.
Well, Steve's got, again, a lovely studio here. It's fantastic, spacious.
Thank you.
But if you look behind the camera, we have a couch. We've got shoes.
Who doesn't have a couch and shoes in their place?
Is that a Traeger grill I see?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to sell it right now.
Okay.
I don't use it.
Some more chairs, some blankets. Is that wood over there in a bag?
Yeah, I have a solo stove that I have like little fires outside.
Is that a tire?
It's a motorcycle tire.
Okay. Oh, there's tire leaning.
I don't have like a garage to put this stuff in. Okay, now I get.
Is that all is that your bev cart?
Yeah, nice. Liquor cart. What's wrong with that?
Liquor cart next to a tire.
I got skydiving helmets on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I got weights over there. So yeah, my place. I always thought of myself as a minimalist, and then Brennan comes and just roasts me for all the stuff I have in here. I'm like, I guess it is like this is kind of like my garage area. Yeah. So there's kind of like stuff.
I like that you
got the podcast set up, so it's just a messy.
I like that you put your garage area next to your bed, which is right behind us here. So. Like best of both worlds.
I just recently, I have like a 1-bedroom apartment, but I moved my bed out into like kind of the main area here, and then I built like a studio in my bedroom because I'm just filming a bunch for like Make Fear Strange, or I do a couple other like I guess filming things with a couple of my businesses. So I'm just always filming, and I was like, I just want to have a creative space.
There you go.
Yeah,
I like
it's great.
So back to dating, where do you meet these women?
I'm not dating any. Oh, where do I meet them?
Dating, right? Your coffee dates, your happy hours.
I met this girl at the gym the other day. She gave me her number, and then
how do you approach someone at the gym to get?
I don't. She approached me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
Times have changed.
Dude, I don't really approach girls, and not
because someone would come up to me if I was at the gym, getting my fitness.
Just roll up.
Just get my.
Okay. Do you?
What if I got on a treadmill and just kept my chair going as I'm on there? Just, you think people would like that?
You have to do that. How hard would it be to get your wheelchair up onto? I
need a little ramp and then someone to turn it on.
Dude, that sounds dangerous. Because if like it was going a different speed, then I don't know.
It would be.
It sounds sketchy, but it would be funny
if we secretly recorded that. It'd be really.
Dude, that's got to be part of your stand-up.
Oh gosh.
Like I went to do a gym the other day.
The other day.
Yeah.
My arm got sore from the treadmill. First person to have a sore arm from a treadmill.
Yep. Yeah, I don't approach girls at the gym. I don't know. To me, it's like I don't mind being approached, but like it just seems like you're there to like work out, unless it's like a really obvious, like someone really obvious is like making eye contact or some sort of chemistry or whatever.
Is that what happened?
This girl and I made eye contact a couple times, but then she was the one who actually came up to me.
Wow.
But yeah.
And you didn't call it a date?
No, that one was for sure a date.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she said she liked my tattoos. I was like,
Nice.
cool.
Which one?
She said she liked my tattoos in general.
Oh.
Like, I don't have like a full sleeve. They're kind of like sporadically placed. She said she liked the vibe.
Do you have a favorite tattoo?
This one, it's like two praying hands. It says farewell to fear.
Yeah.
My friend Abigail, she's like an amazing artist. She wrote a book. It's on my bookshelf somewhere. And she texts me. She's an amazing artist, and she texted me a picture of this last year. And she goes, you should totally get this. And I text her back like a couple hours later with it on my arm.
Wow.
I literally just got it, and I just went like, I love that. And I walked down the street to a tattoo shop and just got it tattooed on me. And I text her a picture. She's like, what? But yeah, that's probably my favorite one. And it's like a tattoo that, it's weird. It's like sometimes you get a tattoo and it's like, I feel like this has been on me my whole life.
Right.
Or like it feels like it should have been. It just feels like it fits or whatever. And I have another podcast type thing where I talk about fear. It's called Make Fear a Stranger. And so fear is something I like talk about and think about a lot, and think about overcoming fear as a way to pursue purpose. And so it just felt like, oh yeah, this is it.
Nice.
So I have a lot of tattoos, but I haven't gotten any in a long time.
Right.
Like besides this one, I hadn't gotten one in a while. So I kind of need to get some.
There you go.
Yeah. Do you have tattoos?
I do.
I think I've seen
Yeah,
them.
we've got 4. I've got
Yeah.
4. I don't necessarily know if I have a favorite.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
The first one I got says never give up. I really like that.
That's cool.
I remember exactly when I got it, like a year after my injury.
Yeah.
So that one sticks out the most. But then
Yeah.
I got my service dog's paw print.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I'll never forget him,
Yeah.
the impact that he had. Then I've got
Yeah.
live life, which is kind of my motto.
Yeah. Live
And
life.
then I've got my Celtic 3-leaf clover.
Yep.
So just for my family, and
Yep.
you know,
That's cool.
they're all very important to me.
Yeah.
I want more. I
Yeah.
will be getting more. Just don't know what of.
Yeah.
But probably soon, somewhat. Do you itch for more? I know you haven't gotten them.
Not really. Like I don't know. I probably have like 40 tattoos, but it's not like people are like, well, you're like, and I don't really think of myself as, I forget.
that
Like
you
I don't
have
think of
them.
myself as like someone that, because it's not something I think about often. So they're just there.
I
but-
forget that I have them sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially in Minnesota winters.
Yeah.
Like
Totally
when I take my
covered up
shirt
all the
off, I'm
time.
like, oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
do have these tattoos.
Yeah. I got a few that like stick. This is my other favorite. It's just a daisy,
There you go.
sunflower.
Nice.
And then I have one on my neck that kind of sticks out. But yeah, cool. So the theme being living life with Brennan, and then going into, kind of in season 1, we talked a lot about kind of your injury, how it happened, when it happened, kind of some of those things you went through. What is season 2? Is that just more about, maybe less about injury and just more about like forward, I guess, rather than reflecting? It's like going forward, looking at like your life, what you want to look like, what are the things you're pursuing, what are the things you're striving for, what are the things you're working towards, things like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more kind of what's happening with the world and
Yeah.
how it reflects to someone who's paralyzed.
Yeah.
And I can give you situational updates.
Yeah.
Like with work, with certain things.
Yeah.
I want to be able to talk about like current events and how it impacts people, and kind of just be up to beat, but then also
Yeah.
have the twist of as the views from someone who's paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the more that I can kind of conjoin the two worlds, because there are two worlds, right?
Yeah.
Being paralyzed and not being paralyzed. Everybody sees life through different lenses, but
Totally.
this is a completely different lens.
Yeah.
Just like I had mentioned, nights being tough and like what it takes just to get up and go through.
100%.
Another thing about that is when I you're not always feeling 100%.
Yeah.
Like during the days,
Yeah.
whether it's mentally or physically.
Yep.
Like there are days where I'm feeling 100% mentally, physically, and then like just getting dressed and in my chair, like that's a battle some days.
Yeah.
So it's like there are certain things where even if I was 100%, like if I could get up and go that day, I'd be like, today's going to be great.
Yeah.
There are things that bother me.
Yeah.
So like there's just layers and layers
Totally.
that I'm trying to unravel as we kind of conjoin everything together.
Yeah.
And we can take polls and things of what people want to hear and know about, like more of the nitty gritty stuff like that.
Yep.
But I think just opening the eyes again of like seeing people and getting a little bit more understanding
Yep.
is kind of the goal. And
Yeah. And spreading positivity. It's like I'm inspired by you every time we hang out because I am like reminded over and over again, like how fortunate I am. Like like you said, people close to you take for granted simple things less
Right.
because they are by your presence, your awareness of how blessed you are is like heightened. And
Yeah.
if more people could have that awareness, that would be good.
That's again,
Like-
that would be like my overarching theme would be
Yeah.
the more that I can connect with people and the more that
Yeah.
they can see me out here
Yeah.
doing this, because it also helps me a ton. Doing
Yeah.
this, just talking about my
Yeah.
life,
Therapeutic and
very therapeutic for
Yeah.
me to dig dive. I mean, I was just reflecting on, thanks Facebook. 15 years ago, I wrote a thing that said, "Hey, finally home from Craig. Like, come see me if you
Wild.
want to." And it's like that just hit like right away. I'm like, oh my god,
You're, like, brought back to that place.
right back to that
Yeah.
place. So getting a chance to reflect, but also, taking me back, it helps me really appreciate where I am today.
yeah, I bet.
Even just talking about that, but then, connecting to what life is like,
yeah.
because it's so hard. And like, I know we talk about this, and I try and always see the positives in things, and so it comes off as like, oh, he just has this, or like people that I work with 5 days a week have no idea, like, and why would they?
Yeah.
Because of how I carry myself.
Yeah.
Like one of the guys came by the other day and was like, "Hey, feel this sweatshirt. Like, it's so nice. It's like one of the shirts you have." And like, I was like, I went up and like touched him. And I was like, I can't feel this, right? And he's like, "I had no idea. I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
Like, we worked 5 years together, 5 days a week.
Wild.
But like, people just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, so I can't feel
I didn't know
anything.
that.
Right. Like, I can't feel anything.
Yeah.
It's only on my face, which
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, "Hey, rub my face."
Yeah.
Like, you can give me a drink,
Just
but
put
I'm
your
not.
face in the
You can
sweater.
help me with drinking out of
Yeah.
a straw, but I'm not going to have people just rub
Yeah.
stuff on my face.
Yeah. It's stuff that we never think about
Right.
because it's just, that's just normal.
And
we
why
wouldn't,
would
we wouldn't
you?
ever think of it. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to connect those as
Yeah.
much as I can, and
I love
obviously I
it.
don't want to just hammer all of them in like one thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I
relatability.
mean, and I think something I appreciate a lot about you is the way you communicate is never to be like, feel bad for me or you need to be grateful. It's just like, hey, I want to remind you of like the blessing that life is and the blessings you have. And like, it's not to like shame anyone or be like something you said in a previous podcast is like my suffering isn't any worse than other people's suffering. It's just different,
right.
And
that's the thing. Like, people will do what they want to do.
yeah.
I'm just here to share my life
Yeah.
experiences.
In some ways, a mental struggle is worse than a physical in ways. I'm not trying to downplay you being in a
No,
wheelchair,
I
but
agree.
like a mental I mean, that you can't get out of your head.
And no one
you
can
know,
help you.
And you are so strong mentally. That's like something I'm like, yeah, like all the things we talked about today, like having people have to like do everything for you, like
Everything.
feed you a drink or like trying to go on a date or like, trying to get seats at a sporting event, and you're mentally so strong about that. And you have an incredible awareness and incredible confidence that I'm just like, damn,
Right.
that's
I
cool.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, dude,
it's-
any last words?
No, I'm really excited to keep going with this.
Yeah.
It's
Me
so
too.
fun for me, and
Yeah.
we'll get some guests on. We'll make it fun.
Yeah.
We'll be connective with it all.
Totally.
Hopefully people enjoy it, getting a chance to learn about us, and
Yeah.
learn
Next
about
time
my
we'll park a
situation.
wheelchair back here, like
Yeah,
a really
we'll
dope,
get a
like the
couple
Lamborghini of wheelchairs will be
Ooh.
back here.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Awesome. Great chat, man.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks.